If you clicked on this video, I want you to stop right now. I want you to hold your breath. Go in and hold it for as long as you can. Remember how long you hold your breath for. You have to want it. You have to want success more than you want to breathe. There's a story of Socrates and a man. This man goes up to Socrates. He says, Socrates, I want knowledge. Tell me, how do you know so much? How do you have this much knowledge? So the man goes with Socrates. Socrates says, come here. They go to the coastline. All right, they're in the water, about 4 feet deep in water. And then Socrates says to the boy, come here, And then Socrates grabs the boy's head and he pushes him underwater. The boy's frantic. He's struggling. He's trying to get up. Now, Socrates is a very strong man. Okay, so he's holding the boy underwater. And then finally, after struggling, he lets the boy up. And the boy said, why'd you do that for? And then Socrates looks at the boy and says, what did you want while you were under the water? And the boy said, all I wanted more than anything in the world was air. And Socrates looked at the boy and said, when you want knowledge with the same intention and tenacity that you wanted that air, you will have all the knowledge in the world. Now, about 6 months ago, I was at the pool with my family, on family vacation. And it was all of us in a circle, me, my sister, brother-in-law, my brothers, a few friends. We were all in a circle. And then someone brought up the idea of a breath holding competition, okay? And I was like, yeah, I'd love to do that because I just have fun doing things like that. So then we go under the water. My sister and the girls are having a timer on their stopwatch while me and all the other guys are under the water. We go under. I hold my breath for probably about 45 seconds, and then I'm like, oh, this is too much. So then I go back above the water. I see maybe one more person under the water, and then they go up after about a minute. All right. Then we're like, okay, we all think we could do better. So we go back under. All right. The timer is still going. The timer is going again. And I'm under there. I'm like, man, this really hurts. This sucks. All that I want to do is to breathe. All that I want in the entire world is air. And then after about maybe a minute and 10 seconds, I go above the water. I'm pretty sure I won from what I remember. And I was like, wow, that was hard. And then I go thinking for another 30 seconds to a minute. And I'm like, wow, is that all that I could do? When I really thought about it, those last seconds when I went up above the water, could I have gone longer? And I answered, I was like, yes, I could. So I asked for us to do it again. Now this is the last attempt that we did. So we went under the water. They started the timer. I had a breath of full air, holding it in. I was under the water, and now I can open my eyes under the water. A lot of people can't, but I can. And while I was under the water, when I first went under for about the first 45 seconds, I had my eyes open, and I was kind of looking at my hand, going like this, kind of looking at it, and you can see like the sun rays going through it. And I was kind of thinking about all of the things, like, how could I truly win at this? And not just win and beat everybody, but beat myself. Be proud of myself for what I did. And I was thinking, when I was looking at my hand and the sun rays passing through it, all that I could think of was all of the different things, the time that I was laying down on the bench with 315 pounds above me, with all of my friends standing around me with their cameras out recording me, and the pressure that I felt in that moment to succeed. And I thought about, in that moment, what made me succeed? I didn't do it for them. I was able to complete that rep of 315 pounds on the bench press because I wanted that rep more than I wanted to impress them, more than I wanted the glory or anything else. I wanted it for me. And I trusted in God to get it. So then cut back to me under the water. About a minute in, I closed my eyes, I can feel my chest, it's full. I can hear them counting above the water, a minute. Countdown, a minute 15, a minute 30. Okay, I'm thinking, my vision, how when you close your eyes and your vision goes it's like blue, green, red, all the way you can see the sun rays going through. My vision slowly went from that to just red to just black. And by the time it was at black, we were at 2 minutes. And I was like, I need more. I need more. I already could hear everybody else above the water. I knew that I won, but I needed more. This is about the point that my muscles started cramping up. I started to like shake a little bit. My head was shaking. My instinct was telling my body to go above the water, and my mentality dragged it back down and said no. I stayed under the water. Even though I couldn't breathe, even though my vision was completely black, my eyes started to fill with static. My family, I could hear them. They're like, Tanner, are you okay? I lifted my thumb above the water. I said, yeah. I was still shaking. All of the things in my life were running through my head about all the things that I failed at, everything that I wanted, everything that could go wrong. And in that moment, I decided nothing was going to stop me from winning. And not winning against everybody else, but winning against myself. And achieving how far I could go. About 2 minutes, 30 seconds in, 2 minutes, 45 in, about 3 minutes in, I'm shaking. I'm like this. Everyone sees me shaking. They're like, oh my gosh, how is he still under the water? I have my hands over my nose like this. And my sister, she grabbed me and she lifted me above the water. I'm above the water. I open my eyes. I'm still holding my breath. I release my breath and I'm like, why did you lift me above the water? She's like, you were going to pass out or something. You can't be under the water for that long. And the point of the story is that I took it to the point where I am sure of it, that I would have blacked out before I ever went above the water. I had to be pulled out unwillingly because of how far I was taking it. And it's not that my lungs are more full than your lungs. It's not that I had more capability than you. It's that I believed that I could more than all of the other people that I was competing with. You understand? And when you want something in life as bad, more than you want the air that you breathe, there is no question if you are going to achieve it. It's just when you are going to achieve it. And when you want something that bad, everyone around you is going to be like, wow, this person is crazy. Like, why are they still going? They're going to get hurt. But the pain of not having air was nothing compared to the pain that I would have felt in my brain if I had stopped. So when you're going throughout your day, going to gym, go to work, working on your business, working on your passion, your obsession, want it more than you want to breathe. Otherwise, one day you will regret it.